sure as we go through finance that you guys understand that finance really is the linchpin to making all of this happen. And why do I say that? I say that because the problem with most investors, and it's crazy to me, but this has been the case over 2 decades, that most investors approach real estate like a scratch off lottery ticket. Like most real estate investors approach real estate like they only want to spend $1 to try to win 1 million, or they only want to spend $10 to try to win 10 million. Like, I don't understand it. I can never make sense of it. No one's ever explained it to me. Like, I don't understand like why every other industry people know that there's a startup cost, a startup capital. So if you wanted to, for example, to start a deli, a sandwich shop, you would know you'd have to probably get a small business loan. You'd have to rent some space, at a strip mall. You'd have to invest in some equipment. You'd have to, if you wanted to do it yourself, mom and pop deli, you'd probably have to go a route of, you know, 50, 100,000 to get started. If you're going to go a Subway, franchise, probably 3 or 4 times that to pay a franchise fee, et cetera, and training. But you get my point. So pretty much any industry, anywhere, someone that starts a business, they know they're going to have to come to the table with some type of startup capital, which usually is like the barrier of entry, to getting into this business with seriousness, right? And if you don't believe me, just Google, just go here, just do this right now. I'm pretty sure it's bplans.com. Bplans.com, I'm pretty sure is a site that has all the business plan templates. So just go to bplans.com, just download a couple sample business plans, and you'll see that every business plan has a startup capital budget of typically 50, 100, $200,000, whatever the industry is. So why do real estate investors approach real estate investing like it's a scratch off lottery ticket? Like, oh, well, I can't, I'm not willing to invest, $500 a month for a virtual assistant because I can't do that until I start making $500 a month. Like, if that were the case, then there would be no restaurants, there'd be no barbershops, there'd be no business anywhere. So I don't understand it, but this is just how a lot of investors think. I don't know. Can anyone explain it to me? I've been asking this question for over a decade. So if someone can explain to me why real estate investors approach real estate like a scratch off lottery ticket, like you don't need any money, you don't need to be serious, you don't need any commitment, you don't need to invest your time, you don't need to invest your capital. So explain it to me. Okay, so a lot of gurus swear you don't need money to get started. That's why a lot of us had that perceived notion. You're probably right. You know what they're selling you? They're selling you a bill of goods. They're selling you a dream so that you can buy their stuff. Okay, so that's what they're doing, right? So I'm here to submit to you that you need to make sure, if you're serious about this business, that you're willing to fund your business, for 6 to 12 months. So what does that mean? It doesn't mean you have to have $1 gazillion. It just means that you are willing to put serious time and financial commitment about building your business. Now that may mean that your budget is $1,000 a month. It may be $5,000 a month, whatever it is. Just know that you need to make sure you have some type of startup capital if you're just getting started, or if you're looking to grow your business like Lee, you have to commit a certain amount of working capital on a monthly basis. And it can't just be 1 month. You can't try something and then stop after 30 days because it didn't work. Like, nothing in the realm of growing your business is a 30-day trial, right? You have to be willing to commit to something over a 6 to 12 month period of time. So you have to have some startup capital, working capital in the bank for 6 to 12 months to be serious about growing this business, right? So that financing, is going to cover your operations, your marketing. It's going to allow you to have capital, working capital to maneuver, maybe as it pertains to putting EMD down and things like that. So, do you have enough monthly cash flow to cover your operations or marketing? I mean, so if you don't, then you're probably going to have to go the realm of trying to find some finance, some funding, okay? And so I'll give you some resources. I'll give you a resource where, we can help you with that towards the end of the call. So any questions on the funding piece? Does anyone believe what I'm saying, that most investors approach real estate like a scratch off lottery ticket? Is that resonating? Is that hitting home? That most people are thinking, I can get something for nothing. I can, get away with not putting a lot of investment of my time and money and just make all this money. Well, it just doesn't work that way. I almost say it's a confusion between investment and cost. Absolutely. Absolutely. So just continuing on. So we have here, and again, any questions? So how much capital would you recommend annually or per month? So LaShawn, that really, really depends on your goals, right? So if your goals are, it was someone else that I referenced earlier, not sure who it was, but I said, I'm not sure if you want to have your real estate be a hobby or business. So I know that there's one or two people in our mastermind program that said to themselves, that, they really just want to have like 10 units. They want to grow those 10 units in terms of the value over time. They're willing to just hold on to those 10 units, let the appreciation happen over time, be the benefactor of the cash flow, and that's enough for them in their business. And that's fine. You don't have to be someone that's striving to have 1,000 units, right? So to answer your question, LaShawn, it really depends on what your goals are. So if your goals are, just like I just said, maybe to have 5 to 10 units, then your budgets and how much capital you have to invest per month is going to be different than someone looking to build out a huge real estate business, including asset management, like Lee. Like Lee's business is going to include asset management. He's going to be managing units. So he's going to probably wind up doing third-party management as well. As he manages his own, he's going to realize he has capacity to manage others. So these are things that, you have to decide based off of building out your business plan. Hopefully that answered your question, LaShawn. Okay, so any other questions? Let me see. I have, so Andrew said, yes, I started off trying to spend no money because I didn't have it. I decided instead to find a way. Okay, so that's a great point. So, so Andrew, did you hear me earlier when I referenced the person who started a barbershop or a deli or any small business? Most people that start a business don't have a lot of capital, but you have to find the capital. Like if you really believe in your business concept or idea strongly enough, passionately enough, then you'll find the money. Sometimes the money is in conventional sources like SBA, small business loans, community banks. Sometimes it can be leveraged from your personal credit or building business credit. Sometimes it can be leveraged from friends, family, associate. But the money, if you believe enough in the business and what you're doing, you'll find the money from somewhere, believe me, okay? All right, so let's move on. And I just want to go through these slides really quickly. So I really believe in this statement: no budget, no business. So if you're doing this as a hobby and you haven't committed to a budget, then you really don't have a business. And so, like I said before, 99% of investors really approach real estate like a scratch-off lottery ticket. They're not willing to commit to fund their business when you start out, or even if they started out, they're not willing to commit 6 to 12 months of working capital, to the next 6 to 12 months. So we're right perfectly smack dab in the middle of 2020. And it's been wow. I mean, what a ride 2020 has been. It seems like 2020 has already been, 12 months, but we're only halfway through 2020. And so, with the start of the second half of the year this week, really it's the perfect time to be looking at the second half of the year. Okay, what am I willing to fund in terms of my budget for the second half of the year? And is that going to help me to achieve my goals, right? And so it's not enough just to say, well, I'll find the money when the deal comes, because that's always going to be capital there for, private money and hard money for deals as they come in. But you really need to have capital to cover your marketing, your operations, and to fund your business, right? So the purchase of properties are just, that funding is going to be asset-based funding. You need to have unsecured funding for your business to just take care of your day-to-day stuff. Okay, so I really think that the sooner you can get towards grasping that, the sooner you can get towards saying yes. As I've seen some people actually say on this chat, right? So I think it was that LaShawn who said, no, I really do want to have a business. It was someone, that was LaShawn, says, no, I want a profitable business. So if you want a profitable business, if you want these things we're talking about, you have to figure out a way to fire yourself from doing all the things you're doing in your business as quickly as possible. Because, your time is worth a lot more than you'll pay a virtual assistant. So I know our deal VAs will make somewhere between like, you know, $5.50 and $8 an hour. And your time is worth a lot more than that, of course, here stateside. And so if you can delegate things to virtual assistants so that you can now spend more time focusing on, you know, some higher and best use of your time, then you're going to have a better chance to grow your business. Okay. So again, continuing on. So I want to just wrap up with a couple things and we'll take some more questions. So here are the resources, you know, that we have within our Deal Mastery Network. We have, yep, there you go. So we have our Deal Finders funnel, our done for you funnel services. We have a number of our Deal Mastery students also use our funnel. We have, from an operations standpoint, we have our Deal VAs. I dropped the link there. I'm actually going to give you a link to our support ticket system as our tech team site's being modified, Michael. But we have our tech team that's helping a lot of our community with their social media marketing, with their with getting, you know, their presence online, maybe building landing pages, maybe doing you know, funnel building, sales funnels and things of that nature. And of course, you need to have you know, some support to help you analyze and get through deals. So we have deal closer support. As far as funding, I'm going to touch on that right now. Probably the most important part is having that funding that I mentioned earlier. We've helped probably in the last 3 months, probably 20 to 30 people in our Deals Meetup community to get anywhere from $10,000 to $100,000 of business funding. And so I'm going to drop a link where you guys can request an appointment with me, and then we'll walk through that process. We actually have a mastermind program as well, which serves as like that mentor and accountability partner. So these are all the resources we have within our Deal Mastery family. And so I'm going to, again, open up the call for questions here in a bit, but let me go ahead and just, excuse me, close out with a couple points. So in order for you to actually put people in the right position in your business, you have to have, you know, adequate funding. So, you know, as far as putting the right people in the right position, if you don't have the right people in the right position, there's no way you can fire yourself. So if you don't have someone that can take care of day-to-day paperwork, someone that can follow up on leads, someone, you know, that can close sales, then you'll be doing all those things I just mentioned. So you have to find a way to make that first investment to start bringing in resources like virtual assistants to help you to fire yourself. Okay. The best way, you know, to get the right people in the right positions is also to leverage technology. So, you know, because we all know that, you know, technology is going to assist the right people to do, you know, the jobs you need done better and faster. And so some of the resources that we have, you know, of course, would be our Deal Finders funnel, our done for you services, you know, our mastermind and support services provided by our Deal Mastery experts. And the last piece, which I'm going to go over, like I said, to close out, is just the financial support. So again, we'll touch on that in a second, and I'll drop the link where you can actually get on my calendar, and we can talk about your, you know, your goals, your challenges, and how we can help you to get some funding, which will help to cover all of these things I've been talking about. So just to wrap up here, as far as strategic partners and the resources that you need, and again, I'm going to open it up for questions. I would really recommend this market shift that you really hone in and focus in on your expertise. So whatever that expertise is, I'm going to use Lee as an example because he was unmuted earlier. Lee's expertise clearly is in multifamily and commercial. His day job is with Marcus Millichap, and he also has started investing and acquiring assets himself. So if I were Lee and we were to work with Lee in some capacity, I would focus in on that expertise, and I would make sure I highlighted that in all ways possible, whether it be through info product that demonstrated my ability to go from broker to also investor. I would illustrate that in opportunities for people to partner with me, highlighting my expertise in multifamily. I would highlight that in the realm of paid services that then demonstrated me as an expert. You could highlight that in terms of, writing a short ebook on, ways that you can, buy multifamily properties in your backyard. So I would do all these different things that would basically create magnetic marketing for me. And the way to do that would be to leverage resources that could help you do that. If he was going to try to do all those things on his own, he would never get it done. And so these, as you heard me talk about those different things, I just went basically around. So, if he would have worked with someone like us to help him do that, he'd have, some experts to put those things in place. Like earlier this year, I was fortunate enough to write #1 best-selling book on Amazon, Deal Mastery, Real Estate Investing Guide to Finding Deals, Joint Venturing, Taking Massive Action, and Leaving a Legacy. I didn't do that all by myself. I had a team that helped me to do it, right? And so a tech team that helped me to get all the social media promotion out. I had, a book coach that helped me to basically structure the book in a certain way to get that written. And so these are the things that, you need to have in place to help you to get where you want to go. And so to the points earlier, did I have to make an investment in getting that to get going? Of course, I had to make investments to get all those pieces together. But then when you put the right pieces together, the right team, the right people in the right position, I was able to, come out on the other side with a #1 best-selling book. So these are the things that I suggest you guys focus in on, making sure that you get your sales and marketing going. Marketing for motivated sellers, marketing for cash buyers, marketing for private investors, making sure you have your operations in place where you're not the only one doing the work. So hiring virtual assistants, getting the services of a tech team, making sure that you have these resources that are allowing you to spend your time on higher and best use of your time. As far as the professional services, making sure that you have an accountability partner. That could be, applying for our mastermind program, which I'll drop the link as well. It could also, be leveraging some of our deal mastery experts, through our master classes and things of that nature. And these are things that are going to help you to grow, round out and grow your business. And then lastly, the finance, making sure that you have capital that allows your business to be capitalized for the next 6 to 12 months. So here's the link that I was promising. So if you go to dealmasteryfunding.com, it's going to be a direct link to my calendar. I should be able to help you to get anywhere from $10,000 to $100,000 of unsecured capital. The capital has to be used for expenditures in your business. It would have to be used for services in the realm of sales and marketing, in the realm of operations, in the realm of training. And so we can help you with that. I'll allow you to put time on my calendar for us to talk about it. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this link right now. Any questions about what we covered tonight? Yes, Michael. So I'm going to have you submit a ticket. Let me go ahead and put that in here. So for the tech team, and the reason why I was asking you to submit a ticket is because the site's being updated. So we will just submit a ticket, and we'll make sure the tech team gets back in touch with you. Will be tomorrow. And again, the link for the small business funding is dealmasteryfunding.com, dealmasteryfunding.com. You'll go right to my calendar, just fill out that Calendly link, and I'll personally, get with you on a call after our deal VAs have an initial discussion with you, and we'll talk about your real estate business. We'll talk about your funding needs, and I'll talk about how we can help you to get funded. We just helped, for example, one of our new Deal Mastery students, Lauren, get $30,000. She was able to apply that to essentially being the 6 months of working capital she needed for the rest of the year, which took care of her marketing budget, took care of her professional services like her deal closers, took care of training like mastermind, took care of some other business expenses. So that's an example. I mean, this is not something that we have been doing 5, 10 years ago. This is stuff we're doing right now for people in our Deal Mastery Network, people in our Deals Meetup community. No matter where you are in the country, we can help you to get the small business funding. Again, has to be used for the things we talked about tonight. Your small business sales and marketing services, or resources like VAs, virtual assistants, tech team, things that are going to be used in your business. This can't be used to, go to Hawaii for 6 months or do something not business related. So any questions? Hopefully this has been productive. It has been very interactive. I've taken a lot of questions on the live chat, had some people chime in. If you are a believer in the things we talked about tonight, and that is that real estate is not a get rich quick, it's not a scratch off lottery ticket, it is not a Powerball, it is not a big game, scenario. If you believe in that, if you believe real estate, and you're on this call, if you believe real estate is, a business that you want to grow, then we can help you do that. We have resources to help you do that. I'd be willing to take the time to talk through how we can help you to get the funding to actually invest in those resources. And you can go to the domain, the website, dealmasteryfunding.com, take you right to my calendar. Like I said, I'll personally be on the call with you after our, VA just confirm some information with you, and we'll hopefully help you to take your business to the next level. So any questions from anyone? Definitely here. So Vishal, so question, let me see if I can unmute you. Okay, Vishal, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. This is, I just joined this for the first time. I
Sure.
did not know that Deal Mastery was a thing over here. Where are you guys located, based out of?
Outside the DC area.
Oh, okay. So maybe this question is good. I'm going to ask. So I'm new to this whole investing in real estate. I own a house and I do have capital as well. And my goal was to get some properties that would have that I could hold for like 5 to 10 years, and specifically maybe in the Northern Virginia area or Maryland, outside of Baltimore, but not really in Baltimore. But the thing is, from whatever I've seen in the last few months, I don't see any deals that would give a good cash flow in Northern Virginia. And you must know this if you are out of DC, that how hard it is in Northern Virginia.
Where are you looking?
Ashburn, Virginia.
Okay, and that takes care of the area, but how are you prospecting for deals? Like what platforms are you looking on?
So again, I'm fairly new, but the deals that I have been seeing are from wholesalers, Facebook, and some agents, that kind of thing.
Okay,
but
so
I'm not prospecting for my own deals.
Right. So let me give you a metaphor. So, and this is a metaphor everyone can understand. So if you were to try to buy tickets to the World Series, and then you were to go to the game 5 minutes before the game and to try to get your tickets from people standing outside the stadium, would you expect to pay more or less than if you bought the tickets like
More.
the day they? Okay, more. Right. So that's what you're doing by going to Facebook, by going to wholesalers. You're going to people that already have acquired the tickets, the World Series tickets, and you're trying to get them from them at discounts. And that's just not the best way to get discounts. The best way to get discounts is to go right to the source, and to go right to the source when there is opportunity. And so carrying that metaphor forward, so, you want to see a baseball game, you just wouldn't go to the World Series, right? You try to find, areas where there was more, distress. So you may want to find, a seller that's in a distressed situation, find an empty stadium, so to speak. You following me with the metaphor? So
no, I completely understand.
So you have to put the strategies in place to be prospecting directly to sellers, and to sellers that are distressed, sellers that have empty stadiums, sellers that are behind on payments.
And I completely understand that, but the thing is that there is a whole network based on this whole strategy, right? Where there are specific wholesalers, and then there are rehabbers and people who want to own investment properties. And and I could be wrong about this, of course. Like I said, I'm new in this, but from what I see, if you just go outside of Virginia, if you go to Pennsylvania or something like that, I mean, there are better deals with better margins.
Well,
And yes, you're right that
so
if you
now
go to
you're
the source,
so
sorry.
now you're having two different questions. Now you're having two different conversations. So there's one conversation of no matter where you want to invest, the best strategy is going to be to go directly to the seller, right? So that's one
Yeah, that I
conversation.
agree.
Okay, so now that's one conversation. A separate conversation is, can I get better cash flow margins and cash on cash return margins in different areas outside of premium markets like DC, New York City, San Francisco? So you can go to other markets and get better cash on cash returns, better cash flow in other markets, regardless, irrespective of whether you're going direct to the seller. Just retail deals on the MLS will have better cash on cash returns in other markets outside of DC. So again, separating to just now, I guess separating those two issues. One, you need to get some direct to seller marketing going. But first of all, decide on what market you want to actually prospect to, and we can help you with that regardless of what your targeted area is. So we have people all over the countries you've heard from the call, people that are in Cincinnati, people in Ohio, people in Oklahoma that are marketing to those areas, and some people that are marketing outside their home area. And you just need to, no matter where you're marketing to in terms of your targeted market, make sure you have direct to seller marketing that's a part of your business.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So I'm gonna drop a link here just for direct to seller marketing. Any other questions? All right, Latia has a question. I tried to unmute you, Latia.
Hello?
How you doing?
Can you, oh, hi. I'm doing pretty good. So I just wanted to know, how do I know when a deal is a good deal? Analyzing a deal.
Wow, that's a loaded question. And I say,
Yeah.
I say it's a loaded question because, there are people that invest at returns of like, 6%, cash on cash
Oh,
return, and
okay.
they're good with that. So some people will drop, they'll buy a building cash at a 6% at a 6 cap, which is a 6% cash on cash return in the first year, and they'll consider that to be a good deal. I personally wouldn't, but so to answer your question, you have to pose to yourself, what is my criteria for investing? So is your criteria going to be focused on cash flow? Is it going to be focused on appreciation? Is it going to be focused on both? Is it going to be focused on some type of monthly ongoing cash flow, some type of are you looking for a strategy that's going to bring in more cash short term? So you have to build out for you what is a sound investing strategy for you. I think, but to make it simple, I think in this market, a market shift, you're gonna want to focus on consistent recurring cash flow, and to what return you and your investors require is going to be something that you had to define. And that's really what Vishal was asking in that previous question, is that he's finding very slim pickings in terms of what he deems to be good returns. And I didn't ask him that question, but he might be looking at cash on cash returns and wanting to be in the double digits in the mid teens. Whereas in Northern Virginia, it's very hard to find those type of deals. So, that's essentially what you have to answer for yourself. if you answer the question, I want to be in the double digits cash on cash return, you may
Yeah.
find yourself going to markets that are less mature markets. So a more mature market would be Northern Virginia, DC, San Francisco, but you may find yourself going to less mature markets, Baltimore, Philadelphia, well, parts of
Yeah.
Philadelphia. So
Yeah, definitely out of
you get my
state.
point, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Because I haven't made my first investment property yet, but I have been wholesaling. So with wholesaling, I guess it's the same thing. How do I know it will be a good deal for my buyer? I will have to communicate to see what their cap rate is to determine.
Exactly. So you have to. So this, I'm going to answer Andrew's question while answering your question. So how
Okay.
do you decide what is a good market to invest in? How do you decide what are good deals for investors? So you can decide what's a good deal for you, but in order to decide what's a good deal for other investors, you can do basic research and find out. So in one of our trainings, we take investors through how to identify investor comps, like what are investors buying. So you can look at
Okay.
what cash buyers are buying, what investors are buying, and you can determine, what are solid investor comps in a given area. So once you know what solid investor comps in a given area, then you know what investors are willing to pay for similar properties of
Okay.
similar condition, right? And so now if you find a property, similar condition, similar type of property for 15% below that price, now that's a deal, right? So that's just on a wholesale standpoint.
Yeah.
Now you can take that same logic and then extrapolate that to cash flowing deals, right? So if you see investors are buying properties that are priced in a certain price range as rentals in a particular area, you can kind of backdoor what the cash flow might be in those properties based off of just what a non-owner occupied loan would be, and kind of get a good idea for if investors are buying properties for $100,000 where rent is let's say $1,000 a month, then you probably can get a good idea that that's a good deal.
Right.
A $90,000 property bringing $1,000 a month in that area is a good deal. So that's how you can back in that. Does that make sense?
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. So Shar, yes, you're right. So again, I would just recommend that you guys, hey, get with our direct to seller deal finders challenge. We've had a lot of investors that have had success in different markets. With our deal finders challenge, that'll help you to start a direct to seller marketing campaign. Chuck, how realistic is it to buy and manage real estate that's not where you live? It can be challenging. I speak from experience. This is not conjecture. So my first 6 properties were in Wilmington. I was living outside of Philadelphia at the time. Then I moved back to Maryland. And so it was challenging, even though Wilmington was only an hour and 20 minutes from where I was living at the time. It was challenging finding the right professional service provider. Remember, part of the discussion today was project manager, property manager. So you have to have those good resources, to help you manage properties, regardless of whether they're in state or out of state. But when it's out of state, it just makes it that much more challenging. So focus in on those good professional service providers. And Chuck, with the internet the way it is, you can get good recommendations, and if someone's bad, of course they're going to get blasted, and anywhere and everywhere on social media. So you should be able to find someone that's decent wherever you're looking to invest. And so Andrew, that also answers your question. If you find markets that are outside of your backyard, you can certainly look for professional service providers that help you with the project manager, property management, and it's also, numbers make sense. That would be an area I'd consider. Alma, auctions are great when you understand the cost of auction purchases above price of profit. Yep. Definitely have to make sure that you understand the costs, hidden costs with auction purchases if you're going to go that route. So take 1 or 2 more questions before we wrap up. I do want to throw all these resources here in one link here. So just going to throw Deal Mastery resources down here. I really hope to get a lot of you on my calendar. So we have small business funding with the tech team. I'm sorry, small business funding, and we have the tech team resources. We also have DOVAs that I'm going to put the link for as well. All right, so I just threw all those links there for everyone, as well as the direct to seller Deal Founders Challenge. So, like I said, one or two more questions before we wrap up. Again, I encourage you guys to fill up my calendar at dealmasteryfunding.com. It'll direct you to my calendar. We'll set up a time for myself and our staff to go over, your business goals, and we'll see how we can help you to get $10,000 to $100,000 of small business funding to help you to, cover what we talked about tonight. The sales and marketing budget, your budget for your virtual assistants, your tech team, for professional services. These are all things we can help you to fund to really, help you to achieve your goals by putting, the funding behind, getting a real business going. All right. Any other questions before we go? Yes. So Alma, next mastermind meeting is in August. So I know you said that privately, but anyone interested in mastermind as well, I'll put that here as well. So next mastermind meeting is in August. I encourage you guys to, we will actually have spots open for people to join our next, our mastermind group. So I'm going to put the link there where you can schedule time. The old meeting date and time is there, but don't mind that. We just haven't updated it for the new date and time. So if you're interested in mastermind, you can apply here. Mastermindopen.com. So the next dates are in August, Alma, and I'll get those dates to you. Don't have them off the top of my head. Okay. So that's it. That's all for tonight. Again, it's something different. We're going to try to do something interactive like this, open Q&A, maybe once a month. We have our Deal Mastery Monday calls that are varied by topic, but we have settled in to a good, solid framework of topics that we have on an ongoing basis. We'll try to have this interactive discussion, which I think was very good, maybe once a month. We had a very good call last week, which was Inside the Funnel, a Leads to Deals case study. We'll try to do that once a month. And I think a couple weeks ago, we had our deal closer on who had inside seller sales calls, which was a very, very good call as well, which we'll try to repeat that once a month as well. So loving the engagement that we're having from all of you in our Deals Meetup community and our Deal Mastery family. So again, if you are interested, you want more information on the small biz funding that we can help you with to grow your business, go to dealmasteryfunding.com and we will get you set up.